South Point is also proud to provide a variety of relaxing amenities for the guests who want to be pampered. Soak up the sun and let your stress melt away in our lagoon-style paradise swimming pool. A relaxing getaway where you can bask in the desert sun and enjoy seasonal food and bar service. We have 11 amazing restaurants featuring a wide variety for every price range and appetite. South Point's Garden Buffet has something for everyone at unbeatable prices. Or, if hunger strikes in the middle of the night, join us at Coronado Cafe. The American menu offers breakfast, lunch, or dinner 24 hours a day, plus a Chinese kitchen for authentic Chinese dishes from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. From steak and eggs to wonton soup, it's fast and friendly service 24/7. When you need a quick pick-me-up, you can find it at our state-of-the-art Starbucks just inside the main South Point entrance. Order ahead with the Starbucks app for easy mobile order pickups. Or enjoy your favorites in the relaxing dining area anytime, day or night. If you love Mexican food, Baja Miguel's has all of your south-of-the-border favorites. There are dozens of classics to choose from, like fajitas, ceviche, chimichangas, tacos, and more. And for spirit lovers, Baja's colorful non-smoking tequila bar is right outside.
Hi, I'm Kurt Angle. I represented the United States in the Olympics in 1996 and won a gold medal. Then I parlayed that into a pro wrestling career. I saw a commercial a few years ago.
Tunnel to Towers Foundation made a promise.
The Tunnel to Towers Foundation is paying off the mortgages for Gold Star families with young children. I thought, this is really cool. I want to be a part of it. My dad served in the Army for 30 years. We didn't have a lot of money, but he made sure we had what we needed. He set a great example for all of us. He died in a construction accident my freshman year in high school. When he died, we didn't have any income coming in, and we ended up being forced to move out of our house. I was devastated. So I understand what these families are going through, and to have an organization like Tunnel to Towers come in and pick you up and carry you and give you a home to live in, I think that's just amazing. I'd like to ask you to donate $11 a month to support these efforts by going to t2t.org or calling 1-844-BRAVEST.
The following is a Race Day Las Vegas presentation in association with Siraco Productions Limited on the Race Day Las Vegas Radio Network.
Live from the gaming capital of the world, time for Race Day Las Vegas, covering the sport of kings with a Las Vegas perspective. Now to the race desk with your host, Ralph Siraco.
From the backstretch to the turf club, at the racebooks and on the internet, to all horse players around the world, a good morning. Alrighty. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Race Day Las Vegas radio program, coming to you live and direct from the gaming capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada, right here at our studio station on the main floor between the sports and racebook here at the South Point Studios streaming network at YouTube and the South Point Hotel Casino on Las Vegas Boulevard here in your gaming and your March Madness capital of the world. I don't know if you can see it through the windows here, but this sports book behind me is already full. It's about 8-9 minutes past 7 o'clock Pacific time here. The booths that line the back of the sports book have been was reserved. People started coming in at 5 o'clock this morning. You could take a look at the book right now. You know, they came in at 5 o'clock this morning to reserve the booths and all of the seats. The big luxury seats that are here lining up in the race book are already full. People are starting to bet. And of course, the broadcasting for the early games already underway. As I walked in, because I couldn't find a parking space right out front, so as I walked in from a parking space on the side and walked through the race book, there's, people are starting to come in for the racing there. Race and sports book are separated. The only casino, I think maybe in the country, certainly here in Las Vegas, that has a separate race and sports book. So all the screaming going on behind me in the sports book won't permeate into the race book. You'll get to hear it, but you won't permeate. They won't be screaming right behind you like in most of the books. So you can concentrate on handicapping horses. Yet the sports book is only a few feet away in case you want to walk around and take a look at a game or two. And right on the other side of the race book is the Grandview Lounge. The lounge is already, I'd say, about 60% full there already, with big screen TVs on the screens for the basketball. And, of course, the big exhibit hall that's upstairs here in the complex. It's 80,000 square feet. And as we have the March Madness party going on for this weekend, today, tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. The big March Madness party here. Free parking, obviously, always free entry. You got food and beverage deals that'll beat anything on the Strip, probably anything in town, really. And it's first come, first serve. 2,000 seats upstairs. That's the capacity up there. You'll have betting stations as well. The 80,000 square foot exhibit hall will be opening soon, and I believe it 7 days a week here at the South Point as far as the race and sports book is open. So the game is on, so to speak. The first day of the crazy weekends of March Madness is upon us, and the peeps are already here getting ready for that. And we hope that all the racing fans that are here today, when the sports fans kind of, mingle over, take a little walk maybe, and take a look at a horse race or two, help them out. Help them out and make a play on a horse race. Maybe we can develop some racing fans as well. More racing fans today here at the South Point. Okay, we're looking ahead, though, to this weekend as we continue our madness into our big weekend, which is the first Friday and Saturday of May for the Kentucky Oaks and Kentucky Derby cards. And, of course, there are two races each this weekend that will produce leaderboard points, 100 leaderboard points, 2 for the Oaks and 2 for the Kentucky Derby this weekend. Of course, the Derby, the Jeff Ruby over at Turfway Park, and the Louisiana Derby at the Fairgrounds. As far as the Oaks is concerned, the Bourbonnette at Turfway Park and the Fairgrounds Oaks at Fairgrounds. We're going to be taking a look at those fields with Jonathan Hardoon a little bit later on in the program. And, of course, Fairgrounds will have a big weekend coming up. On Saturday, they have 8 stakes races overall. 4 of them are Grade 2s. The other 4 will be regular stakes races. And, of course, Turfway Park, which is hosting those 2 big races as well, will have 6 stakes races overall, 6 of them, and 2 of them are the Grade 3s, 4 others. And, of course, we'll have stakes racing going on across the country as well. But those are the ones we'll be concentrating on, looking ahead to the Kentucky Derby and the Kentucky Oaks. Taking a look at what happened yesterday here at Gulfstream Park yesterday, Jorge Ruiz and Paco Lopez had a couple of wins apiece, and Lopez's horses paid $460 and $1560. Ruiz's horses paid $460 and $1840. So they had a favorite and a long shot produce victories there. Tampa Bay yesterday, I can tell you, Sammy Camacho had a couple of wins. Martin had a couple of wins yesterday. But when it came down to the final race of the day. In that race, Jonathan Ardoon had a horse in there. He didn't run well, but I can tell you most of the horses in the race didn't run well. There was a huge monster long shot that just kept on going. The name of the horse was Let Me Know Before You Go. And he didn't let anybody know before he went, because he went on and won at the odds of 30-1 in the last race yesterday at Tampa Bay, producing a late pick 5 at Tampa Bay yesterday of $81,848.05. Bada bing. Anyhow, we have your racing menu today. We have our handicappers, Jonathan Ardoon, Jon Lindo, and Jerry J. And, of course, Rich Eng will return today to the show just in time for March Madness. We're so happy to have him back here after his loss of his wife, and our thoughts and prayers still go out to him for that. But Richie said he wanted to come back on the show in time for March Madness for you, and he'll be here today returning to the show. He has a pick in the first round of March Madness today, as well as a pick on horse racing as well. So we got Jonathan, and Lindo, of course, will have picks at Gulfstream Park. And Jerry J will be along again, maybe to give us another thought or two about how to structure bankrolls, more or less, in your gambling to help you out with trying to win money that way as well. Because remember, picking winners is only half the equation. How you bet and your bankroll management is the other half of the equation to be a successful player in the great sport of kings. And we're trying to help you out with that as well. D. Wayne Lucas, the coach, said his winner over the weekend at the Colonial Downs, American Promise, he said, he's going to have one more start before the Kentucky Derby. Lucas said the horse is either going to go to the Bluegrass Stakes, I believe that's on April the 5th, the Bluegrass Stakes, or go in the Lexington Stakes, which is later on in the series. The Lexington is the last Kentucky Derby points prep race before the Kentucky Derby itself. It's 3 weeks away from the Derby. Now, the Lexington will only have 20 points to it. American Promise is already has enough points to get into the Kentucky Derby. But you know, D. Wayne Lucas, his M.O. for his entire career is if the horse goes back to the barn and eats up his oats well and comes out on the track and looks good, he's going to run them. He's never afraid to run horses several times more than other trainers, as long as the horses are healthy. So this tells us that American Promise looks really good after his win, so he might run one more time in the Bluegrass Stakes. In addition to that Bluegrass Stakes, of course, you know that Eastern Avenue is also heading for the Bluegrass. So D. Wayne Lucas might very well run his horse one more time before the Kentucky Derby. Journalism had a nice workout on Sunday morning at Santa Anita, went 48 and 1/5 seconds for a workout there. Journalism is still on track to go on the Santa Anita Derby. And as far as any others, the Derby horses are starting to prep and get ready to go for their runs. Most of the horses that have already run and gained enough points to get in the body of the Kentucky Derby probably won't race anymore. But horses like Journalism and American Promise, they'll still be out there one more race before the Kentucky Derby. Other news, Mario Gutierrez. Jockey Mario Gutierrez, you remember, was one of the jockeys, one of those people that his house completely burned down during the wildfires in Southern California. He is going to relocate to Kentucky this spring. And today, after all, is the first day of spring, by the way, folks. Today is the first day of spring. So he's relocating to Kentucky. He has a couple of mounts, I think, on Friday at Santa Anita, but he's already moved his family to Kentucky, to Louisville, Kentucky, and he's going to be based out of Kentucky, and he'll start racing there, of course, at Keeneland and such. So Mary Gutierrez, a casualty of the wildfires, decided that he wanted to take his family back somewhere where he thought was a little bit safer and certainly better for his business. So Gutierrez will be gone after his last couple of mounts on Friday as regular riding in Southern California. Several more jockeys got whip violations from HISA. We'll get into that with Jonathan Hardoon in just a minute or two. Laurel River, you remember that's the horse that won the Dubai World Cup with a jaw-dropping performance last year. They had pointed towards a defense of the Dubai World Cup this year, and that happens on April the 5th at the Meydan Racecourse in Dubai. Well, Laurel River has been set back in his training, etc., and they said he just does not have enough time to make it. Remember, he was going to go in the Saudi Cup last month. He was going in the Saudi Cup, but he couldn't make that race either. And now they say he's just backed up to where he won't be able to make it to the Dubai World Cup. So Laurel River will miss defending his title in the Dubai World Cup on the 5th of April. Remember, he missed both the Saudi Cup and now the Dubai World Cup. So we'll wait and see where he surfaces. Remember, he started his career under the care of Bob Baffert, and then he moved into the Middle East when he was purchased and brought there. And now he's waiting his next start, or his first start, I think, of 2025 for sure, in the Mideast. But Laurel River will miss the Dubai World Cup. We do have the probable field for the Dubai World Cup. And looking at the probables now, remember, this is a race that's on April the 5th. But right now what we have is a Japanese horse, Forever Young, who won the Saudi Cup, if you remember. And the next horse is Yushiba Tesoro. Yushiba Tesoro finished third in the Saudi Cup. That's also the Japanese horse. Mixto, this is the horse that Doug O'Neill trained. Remember, he raced in Southern California. Mixto, who finished fourth in the Pegasus World Cup in his last start, is heading towards the Dubai World Cup. Hit Show, the horse who finished third in the Santa Anita Handicap, you remember, just recently. He's on his way for Brad Cox to the Dubai World Cup. These are all probables now. They haven't been entered yet, but these are intended probables. Katona, who finished sixth in the Santa Anita Handicap, another one for Doug O'Neill, on his way to Dubai. Imperial Emperor, who was first in the Al Maktoum Classic, a Grade 2, which is a prep for the Dubai World Cup at Meydan Racecourse. Il Miracolo, who finished eighth in the Pacific Classic in his last start. He's going to, I guess, make his 2025 debut in the Dubai World Cup for trainer Antonio Sano. Walk of Stars, who was 12th in the Saudi Cup, is going on with it. Ramjet, who was 6th in the Saudi Cup, will be there. And Wilson Tesoro, who finished fourth in the Saudi Cup, will also be. These are probables for the Dubai World Cup coming up on April the 5th. All right, well, we have our handicappers standing by, and we got people filing in for March Madness behind us. It's a crazy type of energetic morning here in Las Vegas on this almost Friday, Thursday. So we'll take our first break, and when we come back, we'll start with our racing menu and our handicappers. Don't forget, get to YouTube, get to the Race Day page, and start chatting away with our chatters. Oh, it's lively in the chat room. And, of course, all you have to do is subscribe. If you haven't already, it is free anyhow. So just subscribe. If you're not already a subscriber, jump in the chat room and start chatting away on this great sport of kings on a rather chilly morning here in Las Vegas. But it's always past firm and perfect in the book. We'll be right back.
South Point Casino has plenty of attractions for the whole family. Catch a movie. Our 16-screen movie theater includes 2 XD Extreme screens for the ultimate in viewing, sound, and luxury. After the show, treat the family to a variety of treats at our old-fashioned ice cream parlor, Kate's Corner. We scoop up a variety of creamy concoctions, including smoothies, hand-dipped cones, milkshakes, malts, sodas, and sundaes. At Kate's, there's something for everyone. And if you've still got time to spare, our bowling center might be right up your alley. Voted Best of Las Vegas, it's a great place for friends and family fun. 64 lanes, a pro shop, snack bar, and arcade. And while the kids are bowling, you can play slots and sip on a drink in the Alley Cat Lounge while overlooking the lanes. For our more serious and professional bowlers, the South Point is also home to a separate tournament bowling plaza.
Action today in the race and sports book here in South Point. Taking a look at the weather, like I said, it's always fast and firm here in the South Point. Taking a look at the weather around the country, though, we are 45 degrees outside right now, but we're going to warm up. We're going to get to 70 degrees today here in Las Vegas. And if you're looking towards the weekend, in case you're one of the late ones that'll come up maybe in the last couple of days of March Madness over the weekend here in Las Vegas, this is going to be the range of temperatures. It'll be in the low to mid 40s overnight. And we're going to pitch through 70 today. And believe it or not, we're going to get even higher over the weekend into the mid-70s for the rest of the weekend. And by Monday or Tuesday, we'll hit the 80-degree mark for the first time in a long time. After all, today is the first day of spring. And temperatures around the country, Miami 84, New York City 54, Chicago, a lot of wind going on in Chicago, the Windy City there, 43 degrees. That's where they're going to top off of. They're going to be at 43 as a high today. L.A., 76, but no racing in Southern California. Phoenix, Arizona, get up to 80 today. And as I say, today here in Las Vegas, we're going to top out right around 70, maybe get to 71. Who knows? In any case, one of the big news items that we didn't get to in the first segment of the show, I wanted to make sure I got to the second segment and highlight it. That Super California horse, the California bred, the Chosen Vron, has been retired. The Chosen Vron has been retired from his connections. He was the California Horse of the Year, not only the last year, but the year before, 2023 and 24. The 7-year-old, the Chosen Vron, is going to be retired. He has won 19 of 24 lifetime starts, banking $1,709,678 over the 5-year career that he's had. He won the Bing Crosby Handicap twice in 23 and last year. And he has had win streaks of 3 in a row, 6 in a row, and 8 in a row in his past. And the Chosen Vron, just an icon in his own time in Southern California. The Chosen Vron has been retired. Okay, time to get to our racing menu for today. As we begin our racing menu, we remind you that the first post times we broadcast on our show each and every day reflect that of the Pacific time zone. If you're here in Las Vegas, especially here in the racebook here at South Point today, these will be the first post times that roll out in the racebook today here in Las Vegas. We are in the Pacific time zone. Therefore, first post times will be broadcast here are Pacific time zone post times. Now, we know that we have listeners all over the world listening to us in a multitude of time zones. So whatever time zone you're in, adjust it to the Pacific time zone, tweak it out so you won't miss anything. I don't want you to miss a winning bet, because you didn't tweak it out. So first post times are Pacific. Don't want you to miss anything like I miss Mom and Dad. Okay? Here we go. We begin the menu with the Mahoning Valley Racecourse. Mahoning Valley Racecourse has a feature race, a stakes race today. The $75,000 Southern Park Stakes for 3-year-old fillies at 6 furlongs will be the 7th and featured race today at Mahoning Valley. They have 8 races there and a pick 6 jackpot carryover of $49,953. First post time at Mahoning is at 9:15 for their 8 races. Then we get to Gulfstream Park in Hollandale, Florida. Hollandale Beach, I should say. Gulfstream Park has a pick 6 jackpot carryover. Remember, they gave it away on Sunday. So they're going to start building up the Rainbow Jackpot Pick 6 carryover again. Today, the jackpot stands at $15,797. 9 races today at Gulfstream. First post time is at 9:50. The fairgrounds setting up for a big weekend, big Saturday coming up at the fairgrounds. The fairgrounds has 9 races today, just 9 races at the fairgrounds today. And a first post time at the fairgrounds is set at 10:45 at the fairgrounds today. Okay, next comes Sunland Park. Sunland Park has 10 races. All of them are thoroughbreds today. 10 races. First post time is 11:25 at Sunland Park. And they got a couple of small carryovers. The Super High 5, $280. The Pick 5, regular Pick 5, $1,092. Sunland Park's first post time, 11:25. Then we get to Turf Paradise in Phoenix, Arizona. Turf Paradise has a first post time at 12:55. First couple of races will be quarter horse races. And then you'll have 7 thoroughbred races making up the 9-race card today at Turf Paradise. Turf Paradise's first post time is set at 12:55. Penn National is next. They got a regular Pick 5 carryover at Penn National of $3,112. $3,112 regular Pick 5 carryover at Penn National. And their first post type at Penn National today for 9 races is set at 2:45 at Penn National today. Turfway Park. Turfway Park has a carryover in regular Pick 5 today. Regular Pick 5 at Turfway Park. $91,584. They hit the Pick 6, the big jackpot at Turfway Park yesterday. Massive payoff. They say the 20-cent payoff. Now they posted $324,000. That wasn't even in the pool, so it was all hit though at Turfway Park yesterday. Okay, Turfway Park's first post time for 8 races, 2:55, and again they do have a Pick 5 carryover, not a jackpot, a regular Pick 5 carryover, $91,584 today at Turfway Park. And then we wrap it up at Charlestown. Charlestown Races has a Pick 6 jackpot carryover, $56,776, 8 races, and a first post time of 4 p.m. That's your racing menu for today. Let's go to Jonathan Hardoon standing by. Jonathan, good morning.
Good morning, Ralph. How are you?
First day of spring, buddy. It's got to be beautiful out there, right?
Not really, but maybe later in the day. It's in the 50s, but it's a cool 50, but it will be warming up. Ralph, surprised that Mario Gutierrez is leaving Southern California. I mean, nobody has had more of a loyal backing than Paul Redham. He puts him on every single horse, and he's giving up all those horses to move to Kentucky. I hope he knows what he's doing.
Well, just wait a minute. Maybe, just maybe, Redham is going to bring a string out to Kentucky, and Gutierrez might be his rider there. We don't know, do we? And he should stay loyal to Gutierrez because Gutierrez won 2 Kentucky Derbies for him. Remember that.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a terrific thing. You don't see that anymore in this world that we live in. Loyalty went out the window, but no. Paul Redham and Mario Gutierrez have been a thing for a long time, and you're right. I think maybe someone's going to send, maybe Doug O'Neill will send a string out there. Wouldn't be a surprise. I mean, Southern California is in big trouble. It certainly makes sense.
And Jonathan, I will say one thing: we always look at it from the small glass, the lens of race players and racing fans and horse racing, but they all have families, etc. And the devastation of losing your entire home with all of the, not only the things that are insured, but all of the personal things that are gone. He has a young son. I think he's got an 8-year-old, child.
You have pictures and family memories. It's all gone. It's just gone. I know someone that actually lost his house. They're totally devastated.
Sure.
He's still not over it, and it's just terrible. It's just your life is ruined. You can't replace those things.
And the thing about it is, he, I think, was not making this decision from a perspective of his business. I think he was making the decision of protecting and his family. And so when you look at it that way, and don't forget, Kentucky has good purses there. He'll get going.
All right. Listen, I'm on your side. I hope he does great.
Yeah, but you're right. It is another kind of signal about what's going on in Southern California and the racing there. That's for sure. Hey, we got racing that is producing some Kentucky Derby points this weekend. The Florida Derby, or I should say, and I'm sorry, not Florida, the Louisiana Derby.
They're a week early.
Southern state, but wrong Derby. The Louisiana Derby, which is, by the way, a grade 2, and the purse is $1 million, so that ain't too shabby either. That race drew 10 in it, and we talked a little bit about it yesterday with Brad Cox sending John Hancock there. He drew the rail in the race, but that's not a bad spot to be, going 1 mile and 3/16. This race is 1 mile and 3/16, folks, which is the same distance as the Preakness Stakes, and it's just a 16th of a mile less than the 1 mile and 1/8 that you'll see in the Florida Derby and the Santa Anita Derby and the Bluegrass, etc. It's 1 mile and 3/16, and he draws the rail. So he comes out of that gate clean. He's going to get a good chance to maneuver and figure out what's going on to the left of him before he positions his horse going into the first turn. And Flavien Prat is one of the best at doing that.
He certainly is. The only question I have is, this horse has 2 career starts, both of them at Tampa. It's unusual that Cox would start one of his top 3-year-olds at Tampa, just in my opinion. He races all over the country. And not only that, but his last race in the Sam F. Davis, if you remember, the track that day was a total conveyor belt. Whoever made the lead won. So while he was extremely impressive, now he's going to get tested for the first time. The interesting horse to me in the race is Built. Built has 5 career starts. He actually has 2 races. His last 3 races were at Fairgrounds, so he has somewhat of a home field advantage. Jose Ortiz is going to ride, and this horse is 4-1. I think the race goes through Built.
Now, that's Wayne Catalano, who was a kingpin in Chicago for many years, winning training titles and all that there. I don't know how many horses Wayne has these days. He had a big stable then, but I don't know how many he has these days, and really where he's based out of, since Chicago racing is suffering a little bit now too. But he, when Built came around, he was a son of Hart. He is a son of Hart Spun. There was a lot of talk around him, wasn't there?
There was, and he ran very well last time out, even though he lost that race. Numbers-wise, it was as good as anything he's ever run before. And again, he's getting Ortiz for the first time. Ortiz is king there, Ralph. You don't see jockeys win at 30% with over 300 mounts. So do the math. I mean, he's in total domination. He's like Russell Bays was, back in the days of Golden Gate Fields and Bay Meadows. So anything he gets on is certainly live.
2 other horses that I want to make mention of to get your opinion is, as you say, Brad Cox has got Hancock in there, but he also is sending out a horse called Instant Replay, and he gets Florent Garou to ride that horse. He's 6-1 on the morning line. So what's the thoughts about that?
He ran huge last time out, but there may have been a reason. It was the first time that he was on Lasix. Mm-hmm. And for the Derby races, you're not allowed to run on Lasix, even at Fairgrounds. So he's going to be coming off of Lasix. So the whole thing was the big race because of Lasix, or was he just improving, or was it first time at Fairgrounds? I think it has more to do with the Lasix than anything else.
And I guess, Brad Cox is going to make that determination too. He probably wants to find out if the horse can run just as well off of LASIK, because that obviously will be the determining factor for the Kentucky Derby as he does on it. And, you're talking about Jose Ortiz and the hold that he has on the jockey standings there at the Fairgrounds. Good old brother Irad shows up for the Louisiana Derby, and he's going to be breaking right next door to brother Jose with a Todd Fletcher trainee, Vesimo, I should say. Vasimo, yeah. Vasimo, who is the son of Nyquist, by the way. 12-1 on the morning line. What do you think about that?
He's got to improve. He's a little slower, but listen, he has a race over the track, so that always helps. And if Irod's climbing aboard, you got to certainly give him some consideration. They are putting blinkers on him for the first time. They're making a blinker change there, so maybe he'll improve with the blinkers.
Now, I know you haven't done any work for the Jeff Ruby, and this race believe it or not, even on synthetic is oversubscribed. You got 13 horses entered. There'll be 12 in the field. The number 13 isn't also eligible, waiting for maybe a scratch in that race. But that thing looks about as wide open as you can get. And I guess if they had to hang a favorite on it, they hung the favorite on the horse that won the preview for this race. The Battaglia California Burrito comes in at 7-2, which is the favorite in the race. Morning line.
Yeah, I didn't look at the race yet. I'll have an answer for you tomorrow. But listen, if you ran over that track and ran well, obviously it counts for something. It's Turfway Park. What happens there, nobody knows. Like you said, another pick 5 carryover tonight, 95,000 plus. So the results there don't always make sense, and we're going to see if they make sense on Saturday.
Well, we've got in the one for the 100 points for the Kentucky Oaks, the Fairgrounds Oaks at the Fairgrounds, drew a field of 9 3-year-old fillies, but the big favorite there at 4-5 on the morning line is Good Cheer. She's topping the points already for the Kentucky Oaks, but Brad Cox got her, and Luis Saez will be riding her as well on Saturday.
Well, Saez has ridden her in 4 out of her 5 starts. Here's the key. She's 5 starts and 5 wins, so she's never been beaten. So whoever they brought to the dance, she's beaten them. So, obviously the race goes through her. Some long prices. Girl Math was scratched last weekend, if you remember, in West Virginia. Mm-hmm. And the number 3 horse, Ahava, from the Red Hot Cherry DeVoe. This is another trainer just absolutely on fire there. She's hitting at 30%. Jose Ortiz rides that horse. She was extremely impressive winning her first start. Now she stretches out in career start number 2. But those were the 2 horses I thought that had somewhat of a shot underneath Good Cheer.
And we also know that Goel's Delight, I think, was scratched out of a prep last week as well. And she enters in this race in the Fairgrounds Oaks. So we'll be going over those Fairgrounds.
They were in the same race last week, Girl Math and Goel's Delight.
Yeah, they were both scratched out of that race, for this race. Yeah. What we're going to do, folks, is on Saturday, we're going to put Jonathan Ardoon to the test here. We're going to have him take a look at those stakes races out at the fairgrounds. So, just be forewarned, Jonathan, I'm going to try to drag some picks out of you for my.
They only have 9 stakes. They only have 9 stakes on Saturday.
It doesn't matter. I'm working for the people out there. And we're going to do that. We're going to do that right now with some picks, buddy.
Well, it's only one pick today. It comes in the 6th race today at Gulfstream, 5 furlongs on Tapeta. And I love the number 4 horse in here, Happy Bella. This is a 4-year-old filly from the Rowan Crichton barn. I love the rider switch today to Luis Saez. This horse's last 2 races, both on dirt at Tampa, draw a line through them. Her first 3 races at Gulfstream on Tapeta, any one of them good enough to get the job done here. 7-2 on the morning line. Number 4, Happy Bella, wins today's 6th race out at Gulfstream.
All right, 6th race at Gulfstream. Number 4, Happy Bella. Let's make us fellas and ladies too happy with a win here. And the 6th race, the 4, Happy Bella. And of course, you have a full sheet at Gulfstream today.
JONHARDOON.com. Thank you, Ralph. Stay safe. Be well. Talk to you tomorrow.
You got it, my man. And we'll take our break. And when we come back, coming back to the show, Rich Yang. So don't go away.
Here we are in Houston, opening up our first veteran village. This beautiful building that is going to house 161 homeless veterans. Any veteran that risks their lives and they're struggling with PTSD, mental illness, addiction. We're also building what I call comfort homes, 500 square foot homes. These are for older homeless veterans, so they have their own space and give them back some of their dignity, some of their independence, and most certainly give them back their life. Go to T2T.org to learn how you can change a veteran's life forever.
South Point offers all the types of entertainment you'd expect at a first-class Las Vegas resort. Did you know our 400-seat showroom is one of Las Vegas's top destinations for live entertainment? Enjoy live performances by classic Vegas entertainers, bands, and today's hottest comedians, plus a rockin' dance floor. You can also enjoy live entertainment at the Grand View Lounge, where you'll feel all the vibes of old Las Vegas. Enjoy the music, and if you love to laugh, don't miss The Dirty at 12:30, our very own free comedy show, every Friday night at 12:30 a.m. in the Grand View Lounge. The Dirty is 100% free, so arrive early. Go to southpointcasino.com or call the box office at 77136 for today's performances at the showroom and the Grandview Lounge. When you're ready for your favorite cocktail, stop in and unwind at one of our 7 specialty lounges. There's a bar around every corner, because you're in Vegas, baby.
All right, back on Race Day Las Vegas. Time to go out to Rich Eng standing by. Richie, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Ralphie. Good morning, viewers, and good morning, listeners.
Well, we're glad to have you back here, Richie, and all I can say for me and all the listeners and all the folks out here, we sympathize with you, and certainly you have our support always, and enough said about that, unless you want to tell us anything.
Well, I just want to thank you, Ralph, personally. You've been one of my dearest friends for the longest time. Thank you for your support, all the folks on the show and with the show, and all the listeners and the followers that send heartfelt thoughts and prayers for Sandy. And it means a lot to me. Every single message meant something to me. And but if Sandy was here today, she would be cussing and swearing at me, saying, "Come on, Rich. Get going." So we're going to do that, Ralph.
All right. Well, we are getting going, and I know Sandy well, and that's exactly what she would tell you. Come on, let's get going here. In any case, we are, and it's March Madness. Today starts out with the first of the 2 craziest weekends known to man as far as sports rooting and sports fandom is concerned, because they'll have so many games going on, so many places, you won't know what to do. It reminds me of that scene in The Exorcist, where the gal's head was spinning around, because this is what it's going to look like here today. But I know you have some tickets in your pocket right now to get to the final and to win the tournament. But we're starting out with that full field today, and we got plenty of games. So what are we doing?
Yeah, just real quickly, if anyone is interested in following what I have in my pocket, I made these following future book bets to win the national championship. I have 6 of them now, Ralph. I have Michigan State at 45-1. They've been bet way down. They're a 2 seed. I have St. John's at 60-1, and they're a 2 seed. I had Iowa State at 18-1, and unfortunately their odds are a lot higher. They've suffered some injuries, so they have a tough road. Oregon at 85-1, and I think their odds are higher now. Mississippi at 60-1, and then I did throw a pizza money on Illinois at 75-1. So I've got those 6 teams. And as far as a little bit of advice for some things that I'm going to be doing out of pocket, the first thing I'm going to say is I did fade all the Mountain West Conference teams. So my first tournament bet was the other night against San Diego State, and that turned out to be a winner because North Carolina State won pretty handily. But I bet against all the Mountain West Conference teams. And if you're going to handicap these teams, I do look for senior and junior leadership. Experience matters in the tournament. And, you've got kids who played a while together, and maybe you played in the tournament already with their squads and their coaches. That makes a lot of difference, especially when games get tight. As far as a pick for today, Ralph, I do have this game bet. It is game number 771 on the schedule.
Yep.
Yale Bulldogs against Texas A&M. I have bet Yale at plus 7.5. If you can find the 7.5, it's better than the 7. But one of the key angles for me is last year, most of the players are back from last year. Yale it upset Auburn, one of the either they were a 1 or a 2 seed last year, but Yale outplayed Auburn. Bruce Pearl gets a little snake bit when it comes to the tournament. He's had some really good teams, but they've been knocked out early. Yale, very well coached, very athletic, very intelligent. I like the Yale Bulldogs, plus 7.5.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, I have a ticket in my pocket already on Yale today, because I do believe I believe they're going to win the game outright. So to me, the point spread is only a fail-safe thing for me. But I think that this is a tough team. And although I'm not the handicapper as you are for basketball, I do dip in and play. And then I got a ticket in my pocket on Yale too. So, but I do want to ask you this. First round. We got Thursday and Friday, the first round. Most of the professionals say that it is. These are the first two rounds, really, I guess, for the weekend. That they're the best times to get the underdogs. A lot of underdogs. A lot of the teams that have plus next to their name win.
Oh, yeah, I completely agree. You will see most of your upsets in the tournament in the first and second games. When they get to the Sweet 16, pretty much everything's been boiled down to, the survivors, and you'll see more chalk going right through to the tournament final in the Final Four. But yeah, you're going to get much more upsets. And, some of these mid-majors, some of these smaller schools, Ralph, they come in with a big chip on their shoulder. If you're getting 10 or 12 points or whatever against a top conference, it's certainly not a bad bet, because to win your bet, you don't have to win the game. You just have to cover the point spread. And I've got one of the games for tomorrow. I've got a big underdog that I like tomorrow.
And not to mention the fact that the teams, the other teams that are beating them, they understand that they're going to go to the next game, and so they're just at one point in time, if they have enough points and getting late in the game, they just want to get out of the game without getting injured and all that and move on. And the other teams, that's their last shot at anything, and they're going to be playing right to the buzzer. So just keep that in mind. Glad to have you back, Richie. But I know that along with basketball, you got horse racing too.
Yeah, let's go to Gulfstream Park for a pick to supplement John's pick. Race number 5 at Gulfstream is a turf race going along for Claiming 25. Of course, that just broke its maiden is number 3, West Side Tide, Safi Joseph, and Irad Ortiz. Pretty dangerous combination. Maybe you can link it up in a daily double with Jonathan's pick in race 6. Let's go with the number 3, West Side Tide, to win right back, Ralph, in race 5.
Fifth race, anchor in the early pick 4, early pick 5 at Gulfstream. You like in the fifth race, number 3, West Side Tide, the 3 in the fifth race today at Gulfstream. And Richie, we're glad to have you back. And a bunch of chatters out here are doing the same thing. They're just putting welcome back, Rich, with a bunch of exclamation points. So we're glad to see you back here. And like I said, you always have our support. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Hey, thanks, Ralph. Good luck, everybody.
All right, we're going to be back with our short break. Jon Lindo standing by, and who knows, maybe even Jerry Jackowitz will join us. Don't go away.
If you're celebrating a special occasion or just love fine dining, you're in the right place. Come experience the crown jewel of South Point restaurants, Michael's Gourmet Room.
Welcome.
With over 600 different types of wines and magnificent dishes prepared tableside, you'll revel in the rich classic Vegas decor and the best black tie service in the world. This intimate gourmet room has earned accolades galore. Come to Michael's Gourmet Room for an unforgettable dining experience. Another famous restaurant is the Silverado Steakhouse, where you'll find the charm and service that discerning patrons require. From top quality steaks and chops to fresh seafood and desserts, you'll love the award-winning wine list and menu at Silverado Steakhouse. Steak lovers have even more options with primarily prime rib. Catering to hearty appetites, the menu features a variety of flavorful prime rib cuts, dry aged to ensure tenderness, and then seasoned and slowly roasted. Although prime rib is our specialty, it's not the only thing on the menu. There's something for everyone.
The Race Day Las Vegas Show, the only exclusive daily local media racing information source in Las Vegas.
Alrighty, back on Race Day Las Vegas. The book is already packed behind us for the start of March Madness. And don't forget, there's still the big exhibit hall that seats 2,000 people. And it's all free here, folks. If you can't find a seat, you can't find one anymore in our sports book. The big exhibit hall is open. It is free. You can park your car and get there for free. Of course, they'll have betting windows and food and beverage discounts as well. It's on here at the South Point. Free for you, the Massive Madness Party. All right, let's go out to Southern California where Jon Lindo is standing by. John, good morning.
Good morning, Ralph. Hey, it's already been a great day. I'm glad to see Richie and wishing him all the best. Good to see him back.
Yes, and we're packed here getting ready for some basketball, but horse racing is right next door, and we'll be in action there as well. You have a Lindo report today for Gulfstream Park, and we know that every week as you start out a Lindo report at a particular racetrack, you give us an update on the jockey trainer standings.
Well, at Gulfstream Park, with 2 weeks left in the Champions Meet, you have Rad Ortiz leading jockey. He's got 95 wins. Tyler Gaffalione in second with 71, and Edgar Zayas rounds out the top three. He's got 64. As far as the trainers go, Safi Joseph has been the leader from the start. He's got 64 winners. Jose D'Angelo second with 35, and Mark Cassie rounds out the top three there. 33 wins for Mark.
Favorites?
Right at the norm, Ralph, 33% for the meet.
That's what I like to hear. Well, John, I know that you're going to be busy over the weekend with your Lindo report as well, covering not only Southern California, but I think you're going to do a little bit of fairgrounds too, huh?
Yeah, we'll do the last five, that late pick five at Fairgrounds that capped off by the Louisiana Derby. Obviously, the Coast to Coast comes back into play at Gulfstream and Santa Anita starting tomorrow, so we'll do that in addition to Santa Anita Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Well, the icon has retired, the chosen Vron.
Oh, sad news for me. I'm one of my favorite horses, Ralph. Eric Kruljack, owner, breeder, trainer, and he won 19 races from 25 starts, 18 stakes races, 1.7 million in earnings, and just one of the old-fashioned, lunch pail kind of horses. Go to work, get the win, go home.
Well, we want to see him. We don't want to see him retired, but we do want to see him retired, healthy and well, and Kruljack made sure that happened. All right, well, we need a pick today at Gulfstream, buddy.
Let's go to race 2 at Gulfstream Park. In the second race, number 8, Beaches and Pearls, ran poorly first time out on the dirt, ran better last time out, stretching out on the Tapeta, has come back to work well on the grass, switches to grass today. I think this is going to be the best service for Beaches and Pearls. Look for this horse to be on the front end. 9-2 on the morning line, number 8, Beaches and Pearls, race number 2, Gulfstream Park.
All right, in the second race, number 8, Beaches and Pearls. The 8 in the second race at Gulfstream, off the Lindo report. Full Lindo report here, only in one place in this gaming capital, and that is here at the South Point Fort today at Gulfstream. Lindo report, free of charge, complimentary here to the horse players because they love horse players. And we're going to be, let's hope we smart spend some of this money. That horse that you gave us on Sunday, Smart Spending, reported home with a nice $15.60 mutual. We'll take some of that money and smart spend it on the 8 horse here in the second race at Gulfstream. Hey, thanks a lot, John. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
You got it, Ralph. Good luck today.
All right, now we go to Jerry Jackowitz standing by, and Jerry was giving us a little bit of a hint on how to make your money formula for trying to find winners, but not only find winners, but how to bet them as well. Good morning, Jerry.
Good morning, Ralph. Yeah. Finding the winners is probably the easy part for most people. When the real easy part is really just betting. But most people try and, I would say, have the wrong idea about betting. They're trying to do too much and somehow do less with it. So
Jerry,
what we'd like to see people do is, take their handicapping directly to the window, and if they're good handicappers, see their bankroll grow. Without messing it up. Yeah.
Jerry, you emphasize always a win bet on a horse, but there's a lot of people that bet win and place, and a lot of them bet the same denomination, whether it be 10 and 10, 20 and 20, 5 and 5, whatever, win and place. Well, is that a smart strategy?
Well, the win bet is more efficient than the place bet, so you should have more money on the win bet.
In other words,
I understand the emotional thing. The emotional error is I broke even in the race. The horse, typically a horse pays, say, a 3-to-1 shot pays $8 to win, $4 to place. So you bet, $2 to win, $2 to place.
$4.
The horse comes in second. You broke even, right? So you thought your attitude is, I broke even. That's good.
Right. Yeah.
Really, you've just been better off with $3 to win. And if you lost, you still have $1 left to put towards the next bet. The place bet becomes really valuable with long shots that are getting into from 7-to-1 upward, out to infinity.
Okay.
There, the place bet is really important, and because horses from 7-1 up come in second much more than they win, you actually should start betting more on the place bet when the price is starts 7, 8, 9, 10 to 1. Then you should start to increase the place bet to where it starts to exceed the win bet. And when you're out at 15 to 1 or up, you should at least have two times on the place for every one time you have a win, because you're going to win at least 2 times with the place bet for every one time you win the win bet. So it evens it out. So you'll end up getting a much smoother. You won't have a win and then wait a long time for another one. You'll have a win, another win, and another win. This keeps your bankroll rolling in the right direction.
That is such good information for people trying to figure that out, because, like I said, I know a lot of people that take whatever denomination it is and they say, okay, I'm going to bet the horse win in place. And so in your philosophy, then, that is the wrong philosophy to have. If you're betting to win, you got to at least double up on the place.
So right, but I emulate a win bet using the exacta trifecta pool, where I put the one horse over everybody. Then I can reverse. Then I have a little bit of money. I can reverse 2 or 3 horses that I think have a chance to beat me at a price, and if they do, then I can make a full. So that's how that's one of the advantages of using the exacta pool and a weighted wheel. The winner, your choice on top of everybody in different denominations, and then reversing maybe the 1 or 2 or 3 horses you think that have some value and an opportunity to beat you. Okay, and that makes a lot of sense.
Well, that did make a lot of sense, and it does clarify a little bit of the angles of doing your bankroll. And we want to thank you, Jerry, for that. Now we're on to March Madness for today. One more thing to say. Quickly say it.
Have a great race day, everybody.